Hi there everybody, I'm Gaz, and today I would like to show you a quick tutorial on how to make hats work with modded hair in Fallout 4. So I recently downloaded Commonwealth Cuts, and while it's a fantastic mod that has lots of sub-hair mods to it, it's a big collaborative thing, I noticed a problem. In my playthrough, the moment that I equipped an army helmet, this happened. And this happens with most hats. And I'll discuss the reasons why in the second part of this video, but for the first part, I just want to show you my workflow for implementing modded hair with hat functionality without any extra parts. I'm just going to dive right in and show you how I do it, and in the second part we'll explain why and how that all works. So, my character in-game is using the Chihuahua hair from KS Hairdos. It's part of Commonwealth Cuts now. So I'm going to go into my KS Hairdos folder and I'm going to chuck the Chihuahua NIF into Outfit Studio. Looks just like it does in game, but it's missing pieces. Now, my segment window being open there is a bit of a teaser. All we're going to do is we're going to add two subsegments. Type head hair. We need one hair top, and we also need another subsegment for hair long, and apply. And I'm going to hit T for textures to turn them off, and we're going to select hair long. This is the part of the hair that will remain after we wear a hat. So I'm going to hold S and scale up my brush a bit, and we're just going to hold left click to draw. And we're just going to designate basically everything up until a point as part of the hair long. Now this hair's, I've intentionally chosen one of the more difficult ones here just to demonstrate the workflow for a very finicky hair. Because this hair, it also has these extra strands that come out, and these are, well, they're hell, frankly. They're very annoying to work with. They look pretty, but for our workflow, they're a bit annoying. So, I've gotten roughly a top dome made for the hair top, and now what I'm going to do is I'm going to hit meshes, apply, and I'm going to import some vanilla hats so that I know how accurate I'm being here. I've already went ahead and I've extracted some vanilla hats. I'm going to import the female formal hair, the female formal hat I should say. I'm going to put that in a wireframe mode. I'm going to select our hair, go into segments. Well, I was close. I wasn't too close, but I was close. So we're just going to line it up so that the red line is roughly where the brim of the hat sits. Now, don't worry about being super accurate on your first go around. For now, we're just kind of ballparking it as we establish the meter. Sometimes hair meshes are a little bit finicky like this just because their geometry is quite complex and quite dense. I wouldn't worry too much about getting everything precise just yet. You'll have time to go back and redo it. For now, we'll call that okay enough there. I won't stress too much about one or two little pieces. There we go, that looks pretty good. We've got it close enough. So, it's now fitted to the formal hat well enough. I'm going to hit meshes, hit apply again, just to keep our changes. I'm going to delete the formal hat. And now, since in game I'll be testing this with the army helmet, I'll go ahead and load the army helmet. There we go, army helmet imported. Same thing, put that in wireframe mode, select the hair, go to segments. Now this one's going to be a bit harder, because this one we can see that it's not just that there's a line to the brim that we need to follow, there's also parts sticking out from the sides. And this is partly why I chose this hairpiece to work on first. This one is going to be a bit more difficult. Again, I'm not super stressed on getting everything perfectly accurate here, but it needs to be accurate enough. I'm going to select hair top this time because I need to isolate all these strands that will poke out of the helmet. So we're just going to brush to all of these strands that will poke through the helmet. Again, I'm not super stressed about being incredibly accurate here. We can always come back to this later. So for now, this is more of a ballpark. And when I eliminate strands like this, I'm going to follow them all the way down as best I can, so then the player doesn't have floating hair when they wear a hat. If you think about this too hard, it might not make too much sense, but it's best to preserve looks in this case. Just going to undo a quick mistake there. Let's see. This looks too far in. This looks like it should be fine. This part will definitely clip. That's better. These two strands look like they'll clip. And I'm just switching back and forth anytime I make a little mistake. And also remember to check the other side, since some of these, they have back-facing normals as well. So they'll display on both sides. Like right there. Looks like this strand here is going to be a problem as well, so I'm going to paint it. And we've accidentally caught a bit of this mesh here. I'm going to erase that. Catch that. I'm going to go back to meshes, hit apply. I'm going to set the army helmet in view again. I'm going to go back. And I'm just going to double check that we don't have any red pieces poking through. Ah, there we go. There's one. Going to just paint that. There we go. That looks better. And meshes again. Delete the army helmet. And now I'm going to save this project. I'm going to call it my name and then Chihuahua, since that's the original name of the mesh. I'm going to call it the same thing the original is, so it replaces it. And then we need to find the path that it lives in, which is right here. Copy and paste that. It's a single way output. It doesn't have any sliders. And save that. And it has cloth data, which is what makes it wiggle, so I'm just going to save that as well. And now we're going to build it and look at it in game. So I'm going to open up a new instance of body slides so I can get this built. And there it is. We don't need build morphs ticked since again, hair don't usually have sliders. Build, and it's done and it's in the right path. And now I'm going to boot the game and look at how it performs in game. This might take a moment. My drives are a little bit finicky at the moment. I'm just going to load my last exit save. And we're in. And let's take a look. Okay, a couple minor spots there if we look closely that I missed. But overall, that's a solid improvement. And now if I unequip the army helmet, you can see I am wearing the Chihuahua helm, the Chihuahua hair, and equip it again, and basically no clipping except for those two little spots there. We'll fix that later on. And that's it. Now, second part of the video. This is for the scholarly among you. Why does this work? How did I figure out what I just did? And what's the solutions that other people have come up with? Well, let me demonstrate. I'm going to hit new project just so I have a clean area to show you all. Now, Commonwealth Cuts, KS Hairdos, a bunch of other mods, they've all come up with a reasonably novel solution to this problem. I think the Elizabeth hair is a good example of this. If we load up the Elizabeth knit, regular hair, it's pretty good. But unfortunately, you can't wear it with hats because it clips too much. Well, you totally can wear a hat with it. It's just, standards. Now, they have done something interesting, which is in-game, you'll notice there's an Elizabeth hair that you can select, and also an Elizabeth press cap hair that you can select. So if we open this press cap version up, yeah, that looks pretty funny, huh? What they've basically done is they've squished and compacted the Elizabeth hair so that a press cap would fit over the top of it in Outfit Studio. That's an interesting way to go about this, and how this works is a little bit of an oddity. It's kind of funny. I've went ahead and opened up KS Hairdos in Fallout 4 edit so I can show you. If I go to KS Hairdos, Head Parts, and I find the Elizabeth hair, just going to type in E. There's the regular one, and here's the press cap version. And you can see this one has an extra head part. So I'm going to control click to go to it. Yeah, look at that. This hair has an extra piece to it that just straight up loads the Piper Capniff directly onto the head. It's not a real item. You won't get a charisma bonus from it or anything, but there you go. You can select the Elizabeth press cap version, and there's the hat. Now, I don't like this solution very much. It's an interesting solution and one that I totally understand making, but you can do better. The problem with this solution is that while yes, you've fitted the Piper cap to the helm, you can't use other hats without clipping, and it's not a real item. You're not getting bonuses and stats from it. So it works for the purpose of screenshots, but for playthroughs, I don't like this idea. So I went and when I first started using this mod and I noticed this, I went and I looked around and I saw how the author did their patches and how they made their hats work. And, well, I don't like this. I just don't like anything about this. So I thought to myself, well, vanilla hairs work. Why do they work? If we go ahead and we open up one of the vanilla hairs, I have them extracted over here. Let's just pick a random vanilla hair, number 6, why not? There you go, vanilla hair. Looks, well, like vanilla hair, quite boring. But I went to segments and I saw this. Hair long, hair top. As you can see, they've done basically what we did. The outer parts and the top parts are all hair top, and the bottom parts that should show through helmets are hair long. So how does this actually work? Well, if we go to the vanilla game ESM, and we just find a random hat, armor, let's say the Minuteman hat. That's a simple hat you find early. Looks like a regular hat, but under biped body template, we have these two flags, hair top, headband. Now, depending on what biped flags your armor and equipment has, determines what parts of meshes the game will delete. It will selectively cull these parts of the meshes, whatever is segmented according to this. So whenever you wear certain hats that have a hair top modifier on them, the game automatically knows anything that's hair top, just get rid of it. It's not needed. And that's pretty much all I did. I just looked at the vanilla hairs. Anyhow, thank you very much for watching. I hope that this advice is heard, and I hope that a lot of people making hair mods adapt this strategy, because I think that this way is much better. seeing as it works with basically all hats so long as they have the right flags.